वे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Southern Division, which is defining the components of rasa. So up till now, we had the overview of Vibhav in two classes, which is just a of Vibhav, which we discussed. Actually, verse by verse, if you discuss, it will take around 25 classes, which we have already done. And those who would like to go in more detail, I would suggest please go through those discussions and systematically study this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Then we discussed Anubhav in one class. Of course, that will take, there are only few verses in it. That might take around two classes, the details. And yesterday, we completed the Satvika Bhav, the Ashta Satvik Vikars. And that we completed in two classes. And of course, each of the Ashta Satvik Vikars, the scriptural quotations are there by Rupa Goswami for each of the emotions. And that will take around 8-10 classes. But we discussed the overview in just two classes. So today also we will be discussing the overview of Vyabhicāri Bhav. And this will be in 2 or 3 classes, I feel. And after this overview is discussed, then we will start the verse by verse discussion on Stahi Bhav. So this is the contents for Vyabhicāri Bhav. First, Rupa Goswami is going to define the Vyabhicāri Bhav. What is the definition of Vyabhicāri Bhav? And then he is going to enumerate the 33 Vyabhicāri Bhavs. We are also going to enumerate the 33 Vyabhicāri Bhavs. And then examples of the Vyabhicāri Bhav from different causes. For each of the different causes, say due to disgust, due to so many things, the Vyabhicāri causes which are there, and then what all effects they produce. Based on that, for each of them, he gives a scriptural quotation. I feel that this is the major portion in the Vyabhicāri Bhav. Almost like maybe 80-100 verses are discussed in this, which we will not be covering. We'll just see one example. And then we will go into causes and effects of Vyabhicāri Bhav. Now, Vyabhicāri Bhav is a little difficult to understand, and only when we come to the causes and effects of Vyabhicāri Bhavs and the types of Vyabhicāri Bhav, Paratantra, dependent on Rati in a devotee, there is superior, and Sakshat related to primary Rati. Vyavahita is related to secondary Rati, and then our inferior caused by Rati not related to Krishna in a devotee. So there are these two categories. And then Swatantra, indirect relation to Rati and devotees. Then there is Rati Shunya, Rati Anusparshana, Rati Gandha, which we will see definitely. And there is, just like there was Abhas of Sattva Bhav Abhas, there is Vyabhichari Abhas also, which is Pratikul, found in hostile persons, Anuchita, in objects incapable of rasa, Asatya in plants, Ayogya in animals. And then there are stages of Vyabhichari Bhav. How does a Vyabhichari Bhav appear, how it mixes, what are the conflicts, how it disappears. And then varieties of mind which affect the strength of Vyabhichari Bhav. Based on what is the kind of the heart, the mind, if mind is very strong, then how the, strength of sometimes it can be repressive. Garishta, heavy, deep, expansive, hard, and then it can be light, it can be on the surface, or it can be small or soft. Of course, when you study this part, then it will understand, but this is just a table of contents. Now, before we again go into the Rupa Goswami's definition of Vyabhichari Bhav, let's go into the Jaiva Dharma discussion, which is happening between Brajanath and Vijay Kumar with Gopal Guru Goswami, which we have done. So Vajranath, Vibhav, Anubhav, and Satviki Bhav are now clearer to us than ever. So please repeatedly study this Vibhav, Anubhav, Satviki Bhav, and the more you study, the more it will become clear, and you will come up with questions, and when your questions are answered, it will still more become clearer and clearer. Because a devotee means a life of emotions, and how these emotions in relation to Krishna, bhakti means emotions of the soul. And material life is emotions of the mind. And that is the cause of threefold miseries in this material world. The emotion of love, what we feel, what a boy feels for a girl, and the affection the mother has for the child. And then there is, envy, it's an emotion. Anger, it's an emotion. Distress, despondency, all these emotions are cause of miseries which inflict the heart. And these all generated, these are material emotions. So these material emotions are a hindrance to self-realization. Arjuna was lamenting on the battle of Kurukshetra. There is the Arjuna Vishad Yoga. So this lamentation was a stumbling block in self-realization. So that is why Krishna spoke the Sankhya Yoga, analysis between matter and spirit, that you are not the body, so you need not lament. You are the spirit soul. Natvam sochitum arhasi. Sochitum. You should not lament. You should not lament. Many times it will come in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. So one has to repeatedly study this and have a very, very clear understanding of these emotions in bhakti. We have also understood the differences between Anubhav and Satviki Bhav. Yes, we did that. Anubhav are the voluntary emotions because of the Stahi Bhav, the Sattva, and the Satviki Bhavas are involuntary emotions like the hair standing on end. So that is what we saw. Both are external, and these are external manifestations, the Anubhav and Satviki Bhav, but there is difference. Kindly explain the remaining Samagri Bhav, which is known as Vyabhicāri Bhav or aggressive ecstasy. So now they are asking, explain us Vyabhicāri Bhav. So Goswami, Gopal Guru Goswami. All in all, there are 33 Vyabhicāri Bhavs. First he says that, explain a Vyabhicāri Bhav, there are 33. V means specifically, Vishesh. Abhi means towards, and Chari means moving. So specifically, moving towards, they move towards the Stahi Bhav. They are called Vyabhichari Bhavs because they specifically move towards and nourish Stahi Bhav. So this is Vyabhichari Bhav definition. These are specific emotions which move towards and embellish and nourish the Stahi Bhav. As they Sancharita travel throughout the body, mind, and words, they are also referred as Sanchari Bhavs. So, because these emotions travel, like the Ashtasattvic Vikars are the bhavas which manifest from the heart and travel in the body in the form of tears. So, the Sanchari Bhavs also travel through the body. Through how? Through the body, mind, and words. They are also referred as Sanchari Bhavs. They are waves that arise from the nectarian ocean of the Stahi Bhav, causing it to swell before they return to their source. Now, let's try to understand this. Like Mother Yashoda has her Stahi Bhav towards Krishna is Vatsalya Prem. And when she sees her object of love, Vishaya, Alamban, and then there is, Vatsalya Prem, which comes in the heart, and she might, open her arms to embrace Krishna. That is an Anubhav. Now, Sanchari Bhav, as it is mentioned here, it moves specifically towards and nourishes Sthai Bhav, and it travels to the body, mind, and words. That's why it is called a Sanchari Bhav. Now, let us try to understand. When Mother Yashoda hears from the Vrajbasis that Krishna is in the coils of Kaliya, she just comes running because she has love for Krishna. She comes running to the bank of Yamuna, and on the bank of Yamuna, she sees this huge snake, and Krishna completely caught in the coils of Kaliya. Her object of love is, Vishaya is Krishna, but now her Stahi Bhav goes to a very, very high height. Stahi Bhav is like the ocean. And in the ocean, there is a wave which has risen very high, like a tsunami wave. And because of this tsunami wave, this tsunami wave itself is called as aggressive ecstasy or Vyabhichari Bhav. And this is because of deep, lamentation. Oh, what is going to happen to my Krishna? So that emotion, because of that, that emotion is called as the Vyabhichari Bhav. And because of this emotion, there can be Satviki Bhavs in the form of crying. It doesn't like, every time Krishna comes from the forest, Mother Yashoda is not crying. She's embracing Krishna. But now, in the coils of Kaliya, she's crying. So there are these Vyabhichari Bhavs also create these, that's why they are 33. And she might speak in words her lamentation. And Arjuna is speaking in the Arjuna Vishada Yoga. And in her body, she might raise her arms and collapse. So there are Anubhavs also which manifest because of the Vyabhichari Bhavs. Okay. So there are the Satviki Bhavas which manifest also, and the Anubhavas which manifest because of the aggressive ecstasy. So the 33 Vyabhicāri bhavs, bodily symptoms which manifest in ecstatic love are nirved, indifference, vishad, moroseness, dainya, meekness, glani, a feeling that one is in a faulty position, shrama, fatigue, madness, garva, shanka, doubt, trasa, shock, avega, intense emotion, unmad, craziness, apasmara, forgetfulness, vyadi, disease, moha, bewilderment, mriti, death, alasya, jad, vriddhi, avahitya, concealment, smriti, remembers, vitarka, argument, chinta, contemplation, mati, attention, dhriti, harsha, autsukya, augrah, amersha, anusuya, jealousy, chapalya, impudence, nidra, sleep, supti, deep sleep, and prabodh, awakening. So these are the 33 specific emotions, specific emotions. Garva is pride, we have, this pride is not material pride, spiritual pride, So like that, these are the 33 emotions. There are two groups of Sanchari Bhav, Swatantra, independent, and Paratantra, dependent. So we saw that also while studying the table of contents. Dependent Sanchari Bhav is further divided, like Swatantra and Paratantra. Dependent Sanchari Bhav is further divided into Vara, favorable, and Avara, unfavorable. And then Vara is divided into two, Sakshat, direct, and Vyavahita, indirect. And Swatantra Sanchari Bhav is divided into three, Rati Shunya, without Rati, love, Rati Anusparsha, touching Rati, and Rati Gandha, flavored with Rati. That's it. So, of course, we will also discuss this in detail. That time it will become clear. So, that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jayavadara mentions. Now, here again, I'm just placing what exactly is Vyabhicāri Bhav. The Vyabhicāri Bhavas are 33 in number because they are specifically directed towards and offer special assistance to the Sahibhav. They are known as Vyabhicāri Bhavs. First is the Vyabhicāri Bhavs are 33, and because they are specifically directed towards and offer special assistance to the Sahibhav, they are called as the Vyabhicāri Bhavs. They embellish these emotions, embellish the Sahibhav, and that is why they are called as Vyabhicāri Bhavs. The word Vyabhicāri here has a special technical meaning. It can be broken down into three parts. V, distinction or intensification. Abhi, towards, chari, and going. In other words, an emotion that moves distinctly in the direction of the Sthayibhav and that serves to intensify it. It is called Vyabhicāri Bhav. Please mark this. The emotion that moves distinctly in the direction of the Sthayibhav and that serves to intensify it is called Vyabhicāri Bhav. I'll give you one example. Now, mother has Vatsalya Prem for the child, and the child is playing near the river bank. And the mother is just maybe, collecting flowers, and suddenly the child is in the jaws of the crocodile. Now, her mother's emotion seeing this, anger might rise, which is also a Gauna Rati, but there is deep, jealousy or deep lamentation. Oh my goodness, my child is, in the jaws of the crocodile. And then she rushes towards the crocodile. And this is a true story I'm telling you, that there was one such incident. And she jumps on the crocodile with her strength. She takes the jaws out and gets the child out. Now, this emotion which suddenly aggressively rised, that emotion was towards the Sthayibhav because of the Vatsalarati. There is the Sthayibhav, and it intensifies the Sthayibhav, and that is why it is called as Vyabhicāri Bhav. And then that lamentation she did, in her speech, and then she ran towards the crocodile, So all these Vyabhicāri Bhavs manifest in body, mind, and words. That's what. And the eyebrows, her eyebrows became very huge seeing this, her eyes became big, you know. All these emotions are the Vyabhicāri bhavs which manifest externally also. That's what is the point. The Vyabhicāri bhavs are made known through one's speech, by body parts such as the eyes and eyebrows, and by sattva, or in other words, by the emotions arising from sattva. So there are the emotions arising from sattva. So the hands suddenly, go and pull out the child out from the crocodile. All these anubhavas. The Vyabhichari bhava is causing this anubhava. Please remember that. Okay. All these Vyabhichari bhavas move towards the Sahi bhav. Therefore, they are called as Sanchari bhavs. The word Sancharin means moving. The Vyabhichari bhavs are like waves that emerge from the nectarian ocean of the Sthayi bhav and cause it to swell. Then they merge back in the ocean and disappear. So this emotion comes and then it disappears. So just another example I'm giving just to make it clear. Like the Madhuri Rati between Radha and Krishna is there. And Krishna somehow has told that he'll come and meet Radharani. And he goes and meets Chandravali, who is the opponent of Krishna, of Radharani. She's in the opponent, the left wing and the right wing. So the left wing and the right wings are there also in the spiritual world. So this will cause, jealousy in Radharani. So this is pure jealousy out of prema, So this jealousy is that Vyabhichari bhav. And because of that, she might do so many things, And all these actions she might do, she might speak some words. And all that is all because she has that Madhurya Rati, that Sahi Bhav of Madhurya Rati. I hope you're able to get the understanding and discussion what we are having. Okay. So now let's go to the verse by verse discussion today. Uh, we'll only define the Vyabhichari Bhav and what are the 33 Vyabhichari Bhavs. And then tomorrow or next week, we will discuss some of the examples and then go to the types of Vyabhichari Bhav, causes of Vyabhichari Bhav, and then the intensities also. Okay. Okay, let's see Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 241. Atochate trayastrimshad bhava eya vyabhicharinah Visheshabhimukhena charanti sthainam prati. Sthahinam prati. Atha, thereafter, the 33 Vyabhichari bhavs will be described. Trayas trimshad bhava uchante. Uchante means to describe. And trimshat means 30. Traya means 3. So 33 bhavas. These are 33 bhavas. They are called Vyabhichari bhavas. Ye Vyabhicharina. Since they move, charanti, against the Sthayi Bhav, charanti Sthahinam Prati, while assisting it in a distinctive way. Now, we all saw here also in the definition that the Vyabhichari Bhavas are 33 number because they specifically are directed towards and offer special assistance to the Sthayi Bhav. They are not Vyabhichari. This is exactly the same definition here given. But only thing is, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it says, Charanti Stahinam Prati. Prati means against. And even if you see the Jaiva Dharma description, they are called Vyabhichari Bhavs because they specifically move towards and nourish. So it's move towards. So why Rupa Goswami mentions this is because, of course, it will come in the commentary. Yeah, it will come in the commentary. It will come up. Wait. Because it seems like the emotion is away, but it is taking towards the Sahiba only. So that's it. Like that jealousy, emotion which is coming. No, I'm not going to meet you, Krishna, she's saying. But internally, like the Man Leela, I'm just giving that example of the Man Leela. Radharani is upset and she's exhibiting anger in love. And then Krishna is not able to meet Radharani. And Krishna goes to Lalita Vishaka, and then they say, no, we can't do anything. And then they give him a trick to come in the form of a gopi and, as a garland seller and something like that, and sing for Radharani's pleasure. And then, so ultimately they unite. So that emotion seems like going against, but it embellishes their relationship of the Madhurya Rati. So something like that you have to understand it. Okay, now how this Vyabhicāri bhav manifests, where it manifests in the body, mind, and bird. So that is mentioned in the next verse. Vag anga sattva saucha geyaste vyabhicārinya sancharayati bhavasya gatim sancharinopi. The Vyabhicāri bhavs reveal themselves geyas to Vyabhicārina by words, vag, by eyebrows and other bodily parts, anga, and by external actions, anubhavas, which arise from overwhelming emotions, sattva saucha. So I mentioned that these Vyabhichari bhavs also manifest in the external symptoms as anubhavas, because the external actions are called as anubhavas. Since they set in motion sanchariti, the course of stahi bhavasya, they are called sanchari bhavs. The emotions of lamentation, that emotions which rise in the heart, that Krishna is in the coils of Kaliya, uh, it it increases the Sahi Bhav, Vatsalya Prem of Mother Yashoda towards Krishna. Now it has gone to an height because now Krishna is in trouble. So that's why these emotions they set in the emotion of the Sahi Bhav, and that's why they are called as Sanchari Bhavs. Okay, the section on Satvik Bhavs explained that Satvika Bhavs arise solely from deep emotions, and Anuvayas arise from deep emotions with the addition of intellect as well. So, all these emotions, bhavas, arise from Sattva. Now, Sattva here again means purified consciousness. You have to remember that. It means purified consciousness. And Shuddha Sattva, Visheshatma. So, the Sattva, there is emotion, the ecstatic love of for the Vishaya, that is Krishna, and that is manifested in the form of opening of the arms to embrace. So the opening of the arms is Anubhava, and there is emotion. That emotion interacts with the prana and the elements, and seeing the object of love, there are tears. So then that becomes a Satviki Bhava. Although both are external, but these emotions which manifest externally in the form of tears are called as, they are involuntary. That's why their distinction is there as Satvika Bhavas from the Anubhavas, because Anubhavas and Satvika Bhavas, are all, both are external, but one is voluntary, another is involuntary. That we have to understand. In the description of the various Vyabhichari Bhavs, some of them are described as producing Satvika Bhavs, such as tears or hair standing on end, and some produce Anubhavas such as dancing. Like in the case of Mother Yashoda, she is lamenting now. Lamentation is that emotion. She is in deep lamentation, and this emotion of Vyabhichari Bhav is in Vatsalya Rati, which is embellishing the Stahi Bhav, is now maybe that Krishna in the coils of Kaliya. That picture will make it more clear. Let me take that picture out. Just a minute. Give me a minute. I'll just, yes. Of course, this is not exactly the picture where Mother Yashoda is also being seen here. So Krishna is now dancing here, but when he's caught in the Kaliya coils, is also there. Let me see that for that. Yes. Yeah, here you can see that Krishna is caught in the coils of Kalia. And of course, Mother Yashoda here, yes, 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 it is there. I had never seen this before. So Mother Yashoda is in deep lamentation, or I don't know the gopis. Yeah, there is Nand Maharaj. So because of that, this Tahi Bhav, because there is the Vatsalya Prem, and Mother Yashoda has collapsed. You can see Nand Maharaj or the Gopas have raised their hands. This is the Anubhava. Because of that emotion of lamentation, there are tears. You know, so the tears are the Satviki Bhavas, and the emotion which is producing Anubhav in the form of hands raising or collapsing. Of course, that collapsing is paralysis, which will be Satviki Bhava. But the emotions which like okay, praying to God, the hands are here. So this is like all are these are the Anubhavas. So that's the point which is being made here. In the description of the various Vyabhicharas, some of them are described as producing Sattvic bhavas, such as tears or hair standing on end, and some produce Anubhavas, such as dancing. Here it is not dancing, but here it is, one is praying there. That would mean that a Vyabhichari bhav produces Sattva, depunition, which then produces a Sattvic bhav. A Vyabhichari produces deep emotion, which then produces a Sattvic bhav. The external symptoms of Sattvic bhavas are sometimes called Anubhavas, aspect of the Sattvic bhav. So there are the external symptoms which manifest, and that is a separate ingredient which we take, and that is called as Anubhava. Okay. Anga refers to the eyebrows and the other bodily parts. Now the Jiva Goswami. This was the footnote to distinguish and understand. Now, there is Anga refers to the eyebrows and the other body parts. Sattva refers to Anubhavas, external symptoms, which arise from Sattvas, emotions, which originate in the heart. Okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti. The first verse explains the derivation of the word Vyabhichari Bhav by analyzing the components of the word. V stands for Vishesh, Abhi stands for Abhimukhya, and Char stands for Charanti. Thus, it means those bhavas which move, Charanti, against the Stahi bhav while nourishing it in a special way. It looks like it is moving against, but it is nourishing it. That emotions, you know, and are known by words, bodily movements, and qualities of the mind. By words, bodily movements. These bhavas are also called Sanchari bhavas. This word is also given a meaning by analyzing its components, Sanchari. Okay. Now, any questions on this up till now? On the definition of Vyabhichari bhav? Veer Krishna Prabhuji. Yes. Haribol?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
Prabhu, in defining this Sanchari Bhava, in Rup Goswami's commentary, it is mentioned that it is against the Sthai
Yeah,
Bhava.
yes, yes.
And in case of this earlier discussion, it
Jaiva
was,
Dharma, Jaiva Dharma.
yes, Prabhu, it was two words.
Mhm.
So, how, I mean, both are same statement, how it is?
As I mentioned, both are same statements, and but I just explained how to understand it, because I just gave that example of Radharani has a rati of Madhur rati towards Krishna, and that is her Stahi Bhav. And Krishna, instead of coming and meeting Radharani, he goes to Chandravali, and then there is jealousy. Now, this jealousy is an emotion of Vyabhachari Bhav. or she becomes despondent, right? Let's take the despondent example. Now, this is the emotion she's experiencing, and she start manifesting tears, you know, she manifests tears. Now, Krishna comes back. Radharani doesn't want to meet her. So it looks like it is this, it's going, but actually, it is more embellishing the Sthavi Bhav, the emotion of despondency. And um Krishna will have to, somehow pacify Radharani by so many other things and please Radharani. And what will happen ultimately? It will embellish the Sthahi Bhav. It moves towards the Sthahi Bhav. So that's how you have to understand it. You got it?
Right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so now today we will only just be touching upon these, what are these 33 Sanchari Bhavas, okay? Unmajjanti nimajjanti sthayanya amrita varido urmivad vardhantyante enam yanti tad rupatam chate. All the Vyabhicāri bhavs, they rising and falling, unmajjanti nimajjanti. They'll rise up and they fall like waves, urmivad, in the sweet ocean, Amrit Varido of the Stahi Bhav, Stahiyanya. Increase the Stahi Bhav, Vardhantenam. It increases and then they merge into the Stahi Bhav. Yanti Tad Rupatam Cha. Happened. Slide is not working. Just a minute. PowerPoint is not working. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, there's some technical problem. Yeah, they rise and fall. That's what is being mentioned here. This verse describes where the Vyabhicharis appear and compares them to a familiar object. The two parts of the sentence are joined together as one statement. Okay. Now, what are the 33 Vyabhichari bhavs? The Vyabhichari bhavs are follows: self-disgust, nirvedo; remorse, vishada; thinking oneself unqualified, dainya, dinata; debility, glani; fatigue, rapture; pride, apprehension; sudden fear, confusion of the mind; insanity, epilepsy; sickness, loss of internal awareness; moha, death-like symptoms; mriti, sloth; alasyam, indecision; jadyam, shame; vriddhi, concealment; avahita, remembrance; priti, conjuncture; pondering; finding meaning through scriptural references; mati, steadiness; joy; impatience; ferocity; indignation; fault finding; insolence; chapalya; sleep; dreaming; and enlightenment, both. So these are these 33 emotions. And this is a very deep science. This deep science of emotions, one has to really study them very, very meticulously and understand it, because the same emotions we experience in the material world, we fall in illusion and then we get trapped. Sometimes we are not able to decide what to do. Sometimes we do an act and we become very shameful. That emotion, what you're experiencing of shame, that is, that is the Vyabhichari Bhav. So each of these emotions are being defined by Rupa Goswami, and what all arise from that, and each of them he gives examples. Okay. But Prabhupada, there are some bodily symptoms which express overwhelming ecstatic love. This is Vyabhichari Bhav. And they are counted as 33. Prabhupada gives the 33, same. Now, today we will take up one example to understand. Just one example we'll take. And all the other examples I'm not going to take. I mentioned there are all these 33. And for each of the 33, there are 3-4 examples. And that will take, like it will become a detailed course. So I will not take that in this overview class. I will take one example and then we will move to the other part of Vyabhicāri Bhav discussion. Okay. Self-disgust arising from great sorrow, Maharti. So self-disgust can arise because of, say, sorrow or separation or hatred or worrying about doing what should not be done. Sad vivekadi kalpitam, or not doing what should be done. Like we all have experience, uh, we should have done something in a particular service and we don't do it. I know I should have done it, but I don't do it. And then you start feeling this self-disgust. That is that emotion of the Vyabhicāri Bhava. So this is what defines, is called Nirveda. Nirveda iti katete. So what Rupa Goswami does is, based on this emotion of Vyabhicāri Bhava of Nirved, and Nirved arising from great sorrow, he gives one example. Then Nirved arising from separation, he gives another example. Scriptural quotation. Nirved arising from hatred, and Nirved arising from what should not be done and not doing what should have been done. And Rup Goswami is defining also here in Nirved that because of this Nirved, what all Satviki bhavs can come. In this state, worry, chinta, tears, ashru. Ashru is a Satvika bhava. Change of color is Vaivarnya, Satvik bhav. Feeling lack of qualities, Dainya. And signing occur, Niswasita adaya. So you can imagine how complex is this whole science of emotions. Proper disappointment. When one is forced to act in a way which is forbidden or to refrain from acting in a way which is proper, he becomes regretful and thinks himself dishonored. At that time, there is a sense of disappointment, nirved. In this kind of disappointment, one becomes full of anxiety, sheds tears, changes bodily color, feels humility, and breathes heavily. So Prabhupada is exactly giving the definition what Rupa Goswami is giving. Now, let's take example for all the four arising from all these four. And then we will end the discussion for today because I'm not going to take all the 33. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to summarize the 33 Vyabhicāri Bhavs in the next class and then move on to the other topics in Vyabhicāri Bhav. And that's how I'll complete the overview. Okay. Tatra Maha Artya Yata Hanta Deha Hatake Kim Amibhi Paliter Vifala Punya Falerna Eikalya Harda Vishayava no Swam Kutumbini Hatajuhavamaha. O Yashoda, what is to be gained? Kim Abibi from continuing to maintain Paliter, this sinful, Vifula Punya Paler, unfortunate body, Hanta Deha Hatake. Come, we will immediately offer our bodies. Swam Kutumbina Hataj Jahovamaha in the lake of Kalia filled with the fire of poison. Ei Kalia Harde Visha Vanom. So this is the scene being described. After seeing Krishna in the coils of Kalia, now I don't know who is speaking this. He's telling Yashoda, that emotion is experiencing of Nirveda. And then he's speaking, what is the use of keeping the sinful body, unfortunate body? Let us drown ourselves in the lake of Kalia, it says. In this verse, the plural is used for the dual. Nanda is speaking to Yashoda. Okay, Nanda is speaking to Yashoda. This is according to the rule. Okay, this is regarding Sanskrit. We need not worry. When Krishna, in punishing the Kalya serpent, appeared to have drowned himself in the poisonous water of the Yamuna, Nand Maharaj addressed Yashoda thus. My dear wife, Krishna has gone deep into the water, and so there is no longer any need to maintain our bodies. We are so full of sinful activities. Let us also enter into the poisonous water of Yamuna and compensate for the sinful activities of our life. So these emotions are so strong, and we all have experience. Sometimes the child, because of some extreme disease, is newborn and he dies. The mother goes through that emotion, and sometimes she might also, kill herself. So these emotions are very, very strong. And that's why they are called as aggressive ecstasy, aggressive ecstasy. And that emotion which is of nirveda, which is happening, is because of the stahi bhav. Because of the stahi bhav, for the mother and child, it is vatsalya, and here also in the Kali Leela, it is vatsalya. So we need not, so he's speaking in words. So these emotions which are spoken in the words are Vyabhicāri bhav because they manifest in the words. This is the instance of a shiver shock wherein the devotee becomes greatly disappointed. He becomes greatly disappointed. Okay. Now, Vipari Yogena Yata, from separation. Without the presence of Anusangama, sweetness of Madhav Madhurana, Vrindavan became withered. Vrindavana Siryateha, without charm, Nirasatam, and devoid of flowers, Apushpite Prayate. How does this unfortunate Kuto Aso Apunya, strong bee, Subolo Dvirepa, continue to live? Pranitya. So this is a separation, when Krishna left Vrindavan. Now, who is speaking? Let us see. When Krishna left Vrindavan, Subala, his independent friend, decided to leave also. So Subala is speaking. So Subala is like a bee. Subala Dvirepa. Mhm. Um, just like the flower is now completely dried up and there is no nectar. So similarly, when Krishna left, it's like that, devoid of flowers. So what is the bee going to do, like that? So Subala is compared. When Krishna left, Subala, his intimate friend, decided to leave also. While leaving, Subal was contemplating that without Krishna, there is no longer any pleasure to be found in Vrindavan. An analogy is given that as the bee goes away from the flower that has no honey, Subala left Vrindavan when he found that there was no longer any relishable transcendental pleasure there. So that's what is being given. Yathava, same example, another example of separation from the Dan Keli Kaumudyam. Oh friend, Saki, without hearing the words of Madhava, my ears, Mama Shravanayor, may as well become deaf. Alam Ash Shravanair. Without seeing the form of Madhava, Tam Avalokatayor, my eyes, Vilochana, Vilochanayoscha, may as well become blind. Avilokane Kila Nayo, Kila Nayo. So here Asaki is telling that without hearing the words of Madhava, my ears, let them become deaf, and without seeing the form, let my eyes become blind. So this is a nirved, disappointment, which is an emotion, and that is expressed through the words here. The form Ashravani becomes from the rule Akrosha Nya. Again, this is something to do with grammar. We'll forget this. Or as well, there should be a sense of cursing on misfortune expressed. Okay, Prabhupada says, in Dandakeli comedy, Srimati Radharani addresses one of her friends in this manner. My dear friend, if I cannot hear the glorious activities of Krishna, it is better for me to become deaf. And because I am not unable to see him, it would be good for me to become a blind woman. This is another instance of disappointment due to separation from Krishna. So there's that emotion of Vyabhicāri bhava, disappointment because of separation. It is because of separation, and it is expressed through these words. And the words which are expressing these are anubhavas. These are anubhavas. So that Vyabhicāri bhav causes this anubhava, speaking in words. These are actions, right? Words are actions also. Okay. Now from anger, Irshaya, Yati Hare Hare Vamshi, Satya Devi Vakyam, Satya Devi speaking, Satya Mama. Oh Krishna, if Narad is praising Stotavya Yadi Naredena, Rukmini, Sa, in front of you, Tava Agarata Tavat, he is calling upon Kimartam Anu Shabdita, her as misfortune similar to mine. Durbhagyo yam janastatra. Of course, I don't know what exactly is the context in Harivamsha, which is the whole discussion. Let us see what is there. Sa refers to Rukmini. Ayam Durbhaga means misfortune similar to mine. Okay, I think Prabhupada will make it clear. There is a statement in the Harivansham wherein Satyabhama, one of the queens of Krishna in Dwarka, tells her husband, "My dear Krishna, since I have heard Narada glorifying Rukmini before you, I can understand that there is no need of anything talking about myself." So she's feeling jealous. She's feeling jealous, angry. Anger is coming, and then that emotion because Narad is glorifying Rukmini before Krishna, and she's feeling that she's becoming angry. This is the instance of disappointment caused by envy. So it is Irshaya. Why it is mentioned here as from anger? It should Irsha, and Irsha is anger. 1 minute. Yeah, Nirveda. Tatra Nirveda. Maharti Viprayogena. Hatred. Arsha. Yeah. Envy. It is envy. It is not anger. I don't know. Somehow maybe it is a print mistake in the book. Okay. So she's feeling jealous. That jealous is an emotion. So, uh, and because of that, you don't need to talk about myself now. I've heard that, Narad is glorifying Rukmini in front of you. So don't talk anything about myself now. So that's what she's feeling. Okay. Rukmini is Satbhava Aquavice, and because Krishna was the husband of both, there naturally was some feminine envy between them. So when Satyabhama heard the glories of Rukmini, she was envious of her, and thus she became disappointed. So we also see the same emotion of envy. And as long as we are not free from this emotion of envy, dharma projita kaitavo parama nirmitsaranam satam, we are not pure at heart. So we definitely have to uh, become free from this material emotion of envy, which is an obstacle to become a Paramhamsa, pure devotee. But in the Krishna Lila, this envy is in pure form. And Satyabhama is manifesting this envy towards Rukmini because that will increase the rasa of Madhurya Rati for Krishna between both the wives. So that is how that embellishes the Stahi Bhav. I hope you got it. Sad Vivekana Yatashri Dashami. Through discrimination from the third one. I have wasted all this time. Mama Isha Kalo Nishfalogato. Oh, unconquerable one, Ajita, becoming more and more intoxicated in my domain and opulence. Raja, Shri Unnada Madasya, as an earthly king, Bhupata, misidentifying the mortal body as a self. Martyatma Buddhi, become attached to children, Suta, wives, Dara, treasure, Kosha, and land, Bhushu. I suffered endless anxiety. Asajjamanasya duranta chintaya. So here is a lamentation of this king. And let's come to in the 10th canto, 51st chapter, verse 45 of the Srimad, there is a statement. My dear Krishna, I cannot say that it is only other people who are implicated in materialization because I too am much entangled in the bodily concept of life. I'm always too anxious about my family, my home, wife, children, land, and kingdom. And because I have been so burdened by this material atmosphere, I'm thinking now that my life is simply spoiled. So, this kind of a lamentation, which is coming because of attachment to body clean, this statement is instance of disappointment caused by lamentation. Okay. Though it is inauspicious, Amangalpi, Bharat Muni has mentioned Nirveda, as a first Vyabhicāri bhav, since it is the Sahi bhav for Shant Rasa. That is the opinion of some persons. So here is some technical discussion. The authors consider the Sthahi bhav of Shant Rasa to be Shantrati. That Nirved is first stated here is merely confirming to Bharat Muni's exposition of this. Bharat Muni also has in the dramas, there is this emotion of Sthahi bhav of Nirveda. So he has considered it first. So first Rupa Goswami also mentioned. Since Nirvad is an inauspicious emotion, why it has been considered first in the list? This verse answers. Bharat Muni has placed it first, considering to be Stahibhava Shantras. That is, though it appears inauspicious, it is suitable to be placed first because of its prominence as a Stahibhav as well. In this work, it is placed simply to confirm to Bharat Muni's exposition on of the subject. Prabhupada also mentions the same. Now, then, onwards, there is Vishad because of failure to get one desired object, failure to accomplish a task, occurrence due to desire, all that, committing an offense. So all that will be discussed. Like when you commit an offense, you go through an emotion, why did I do that? That emotion is Vyabhicāri bhav, and then maybe tears come from your eyes, then that is a satvik bhava. I hope you are able to get. So now, next week onwards, I will only be taking what are each of these Vyabhicāri bhavs. Their definition, I'll just be summarizing them. And I'll not be going by not attaining one's desired object. You become, you express Vishad and not, failure to accomplish, and then remorse because of impending disaster, and then because of aparad, you feel remorse. So all these examples are given, which I'll not be going into detail and discussing them. So that I will, in the next class, summarize all these 33 Vyabhicāri bhavs. Any questions, any clarifications you have? We have finished the first part of the discussion. Because this is an overview classes. The detailed classes, if you want, you can go through. Yes, Bir Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, bro. Bro, emotions of the soul and emotions of mind.
Yes.
What could be clear distinction between the two?
The clear distinction is very simple. When you are on the liberated platform, these emotions, actually nourish your devotion. But the material emotions which spring from the false ego and manifest in the mind and the body, these emotions are a stumbling block in the path of devotion. So that is why in the second chapter of the Gita, Krishna is giving that Nanu Sochanti Pandita, sorry, Nanu Sochatam Arhasi, so become free from these emotions. So Sukha, Dukha, Mana, Apamana, Sukhe, Dukhe, Same Kritva, Labha, Labha, Jayo, Jayo, Tata, Yuddhaya, Yuddhasa, Naivam Papam Apase. Yogastu Kuru Karmani, Sangam Taktva Dhananjaya, Siddha Siddha Samobhutva, Samatvam Yoga. So Krishna is completely instructing that become indifferent to these material emotions and be situated in your transcendental position. So because from there, bhakti will begin. And from there, when bhakti begins and you enter into the bhakti emotions, then these all emotions are amrita. They are like nectar. Whereas here they are the cause of death for us. And these emotions bind us to the material world. So there are these material emotions, and then there are the spiritual emotions. So one has to transcend these material emotions by the wisdom of the Gita and enter into the spiritual emotions by which one is relishing rasa. These emotions relish, give us rasa, whereas the material emotions, they are perverted and they distort and cause destruction, like anger. Like I'm just giving an example. A chaste wife comes to know that the husband has having another affair, and she comes to know there is jealousy, envy, and then it causes breakup in the relationship, you know, and maybe, killing each other. So all this happens, right? Whereas that emotion in the spiritual world of jealousy, which Satyabhama is feeling towards Rukmini, uh, that emotion is it is embellishing their Stahi Bhava. That's what is happening. You're getting the point?
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, fine then. So we will, Priya Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. So, in the same context, when Krishna is coming to Padmavali, so is
Padmavali.
Padmavali feeling?
Who's Padmavali?
No, like you said, na, Krishna is going
Chandravali.
away from Radha. Sorry?
Chandravali.
Yeah, Chandravali, sorry. So, in the same context, when Krishna is going to Chandravali, uh, is Chandravali feeling the same emotions like Satyabhama? It's very, I just want to clear this. I mean,
What is your question?
so, like Srimati Radharani is having emotions that leaving me, Krishna is going to Chandravali. You gave earlier example, like
Yeah.
yeah. So again, Krishna is also experiencing those Thai vow, like he is going away from Radharani, but actually he wants to go to Radharani, so he is going to Chandravali, or like is it
So these
like?
pastimes we cannot understand. Basically, this left wing and right wing is there again to relish the Stahi Bhav. The principal gopi is Radharani, and all the other gopis are her own expansions. Her own expansions they are. And some gopis are in, Purva Paksha, some are in the Uttar Paksha, means Swapaksha, means they are in the group of Radharani, some are in the opponent group of Radharani. But all this gives pleasure to Krishna, and thereby they also relish pleasure. So that is the main thing there, you know. So Krishna going and Chandravali attracting her is ultimately to increase, the loving uh, relations of the Radha and Krishna. So like that is central there. Is it okay? Fine. So we will stop here. Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Hare Krishna.